This is TJ Legacy, host of the Soapboxx Podcast. The live stream will start shortly, but make sure you like our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, and tell all of your friends and family that the most infamous podcast on all your streaming services is about to go live.
TJ, what's goody? It's HB. Can I just big you up real quick with what you're doing with the Soapboxx? Listen, anytime somebody takes their platform to educate and inform the culture of hip-hop with politics, pop culture, doing what you're doing and being responsible with your platform, I can't do nothing but salute you, TJ. Keep doing what it do. Keep repping for the culture. Nothing but love and respect from me, baby. Peace.
Gentlemen, what's really good? It's Peter Rosenberg, Hot 97, ESPN, WWE, Cheap Heat Podcast, all that. Big shout out to my peoples over at the Soapboxx, all right? My man TJ, Legacy Cole, the whole Soapboxx crew. Incredible new podcast, all right? Politics, pop culture, hip hop, even wrestling on occasion. It's all there. So go subscribe and make sure you tune in to the Soapboxx. TJ, what up, man? Appreciate you.
Peace to the planet. Charlemagne the God here. What's happening, TJ Legacy Cole? Salute to you, King. Salute to the Soapboxx Podcast. The Soapboxx Podcast is an independent black media podcast, and they talk hip-hop, politics, pop culture, mental health, social justice, a lot of my favorite subjects. Check them out, man. Tune in, subscribe to them. You never know. I'm out here looking at all the different podcasts that are moving and shaking out here, because, I got the Black Effect Podcast Network, so I'm going to be checking y'all out, TJ. All right? Keep working.
What's poppin'? What's up, Soapboxx? How y'all doing today? How y'all feeling?
What's up?
We here, girl. We here.
So, guys, special show today because they done messed up and put me as the host because TJ, he believed me or whatever. And let's just say, I just want to start by apologizing to y'all. I know we are a little late. I'm not gonna.
That's my fault. Blame me. Blame me.
Oh, okay, all right. I guess I didn't have to say it. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Okay, I already asked you guys that. My name is Jess A. Andrade. I'm from Boston or whatever. No, I'm lying. I'm not. I live in Boston, but I'm from New York. I just thought I'd just say that. But let me introduce my co-host for today, and we're gonna start with former host Tim. Let me know where you're from. Hey, what's your name and how you feeling today?
Hey, what's good, everybody? My name is TJ Legacy. I guess I'm the former host. I've been demoted, but we're rotating because we're a versatile podcast. All the way from Orlando, Florida, but by way of Boston, Massachusetts myself. Happy to be here. Let's get it rolling. Let's get it popping.
That's right. And all the way from Tallahassee, we got my girl Javonni.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Javonni.
I love that. All right, so guys, we have a jam-packed show for y'all. So we're gonna start off with some entertainment news. And TJ, we're gonna let you take that on. So go ahead, TJ, tell us what's first on the docket.
Listen, we got my man LeVar Ball. If you guys don't know who LeVar Ball is the father of Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, and I think Lagello or whatever his name is, Geppetto Lagello, whatever the other third son name is. But he's got two sons in the NBA. Very controversial, polarizing figure. His son LaMelo Ball is drafted by the Charlotte Hornets last night. And so he has some very controversial things to say, as he always does. And I'm going to take y'all to a clip to let y'all know what LeVar Ball said about his sons finding love in the NBA.
He thinks LaMelo and Lonzo don't stand a chance at meeting a good woman. Check out a clip of what he had to say here.
You're never going to meet a nice woman, especially in basketball. You're not going to find nobody like I found your mom or my mom and dad. Because here's the thing. If you're in this profession, which you got all this fame and notoriety, how are you going to meet a good girl? You're not, because what you're going to meet are in the restaurant where you eat, or you're going to go to a club where you dance, or you're going to meet her at the arena. So I hate to tell you, you're going to meet a
You're going to meet a famous words by LeVar Ball.
Wow.
So
straight to the point.
That's right. So LeVar Ball, as a father, so shout out to black dads. He's a very active father. Some say he's too much into his son's life, but I don't agree with that. So he says, look, my sons who are in the NBA are not going to find good women until they're out of the NBA because all they're going to be surrounded by are hoes. So my question is, can a man find a good woman? I guess can he find a good woman while he's pursuing success, or should he find a good woman while he's pursuing success rather than after he achieves it?
Of course,
what do y'all think?
Of course.
It depends where you're looking. If you're looking for the wrong girls, then you're gonna find the wrong girls. There are girls out there who don't really care about a man's status, or like. So you're telling me that he can't go to the library, for example, and meet a good girl? Like, if you choose to meet, and not even that, you're telling
I don't think
me
them niggas at the library.
You're telling me that every girl that goes to the club is a hoe? Is that what you're saying? You're telling me like a girl who goes to the club can't just go there and have fun and, oh, look, I meet this nice guy and like now we're kicking it, we're feeling each other. I don't even know who you are. Okay, I find out afterwards, okay, you actually a basketball player. You got money. But I'm a good person. I got my own stuff. I don't need your stuff. But you're telling me like they can't be compatible in some way without her having an ulterior motive? I don't buy that. Sorry.
Well, I think it's more so that because he knows the type. He's been in the NBA, right? He did a brief stint in the NBA. So he kind of knows the culture of what's around NBA players now. And so I think he's saying in the environment that they're in, like going to the clubs and you're never going to find a good woman. He said like their mom, right? His mom used to be a basketball player too. Their mom. You're not going to find a good woman who's about you. And most of the people that are around these professional athletes are only for instant gratification. They're only for, what they can get out of these athletes. So, which is so funny. What's funny about the story is Lonzo Ball, his son, actually has a girlfriend, like right now. So, and I think she has their first child this offseason. So, but he says she doesn't count, because they were high school sweethearts and he met her beforehand. So I don't think every girl who goes to the club isn't a hoe, but I think if you're surrounded by in your profession, like if you're a dude who's working at Publix, I think you can find a good girl at a club. Like that's like she's not going to want you for your paper. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think? That's my take. Go ahead.
You muted, girl.
Oh, sorry, y'all. And my TV just cut on, so it might be some noise.
Just randomly, like you got a ghost. Like I don't know, it's so crazy. My TV.
Yes, no, because my I have the remote on my phone, so I think Noble must have pressed the button and turned TV on.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, I agree with the both of y'all. I don't think that just because he's an NBA player or he's on his way to success, like you're not gonna be able to find a good girl. What he needs to be teaching him is just how to know who is a good girl. Because maybe 7 times out of 10, he may run across more hoes than somebody that actually want to be with him. And I wouldn't even say hoes. I'm just saying hoes because that's the word that he used, hoes. But I'm just saying that. I mean, because now it's not even considered a bad thing if you know how people used to be like, oh, you the opportunist. Now people like, oh, you need to be an opportunist. So he may run into a lot of women who are opportunists who want to be with him because he have money, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they won't love him and treat him the right way. So
I agree. Yeah. I agree with you, Javonni. I don't know why people think that it's wrong to be an opportunist. I just want to say that when girls always have to deal with broke ass guys, and it's like we got our own stuff and we take care of our own stuff, and like we do our best to help y'all. But like, what are y'all doing? TJ? What are y'all doing?
Excuse me, I don't speak on behalf of all broke ass men out here, but I will say this: in these Jumanji streets, in these dating streets, there's a lot of broke women out here that are perpetrating. Like, they want you to have the car, the house, to this, to that, and be 6 foot tall, be playing basketball, whatever stuff, and then they home eating oodles and noodles and living paycheck to paycheck. So
yeah, that's crazy.
So and not only that, what I recently realized, there's a lot of girls out here that need a place to stay too. So a lot of times in dating, we put a lot of stuff on the men, like, oh, the guys ain't got their stuff together. It's not always the case. So I think there's some mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's case by case.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Make
case
sure
by
you're
case.
good.
It's case by case. That's why I'm saying he gotta know. Like,
yeah,
he gotta know. But I do agree with his dad. His dad is just saying, like, stay focused, because you not really gonna have that much time on your hands to even really figure out who really for you. Like, that's what he was like, what you gonna do? Meet him at the dinner or something, or meet him while you on the court? Like, you're not really gonna have enough time to really sit down and get to know these women. So don't do it. And he probably got played so many times, he probably got burnt, all type of stuff. He probably just like, bro, don't do it.
Right.
And you got to admit that there's a lot of in that culture behind the basketball scene. There's a lot of women who are just transactional. They're like, look, I ain't looking for love. I'm just trying to get this paper. We can do whatever we do. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And then we could break out, and I'll see you when you come around town next month, or or two. So we just got.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Well, so you think if that happens, you found you something good in his case?
Listen, all I'm saying is y'all better snatch me up out here in these streets before I make this soapbox money, because I'm gonna act different.
Oh God. Speaking of money, let's talk about 50 Cent and how he turned down $1 million. I mean, not that he really needs it, but yeah. Tell us a little bit more about that, TJ.
Listen, 50 Cent, as y'all know, Donald Trump was out here being a political prostitute, or being a political trick out here, shaking it for dollar bills to anybody that would hop on the Trump train with him. So he's out here soliciting, right? Whether it's celebrities or athletes who wanted to be on the MAGA train. As we know, that train has been derailed, and there's just a whole bunch of debris off of the tracks, as he is still clinging on to his presidency that is about to run out. So 50 Cent was offered, $1 million to endorse Donald Trump. As you know, 50 Cent initially was critical of Joe Biden's tax plan and said that he was going to support Donald Trump. But 50 Cent, as we all know, is a bit of a troll. Chelsea Handler, his ex-girlfriend, stepped in and was like, look, hey, I'm going to give you some of this, some of this vajayjay, right? And we can and just make sure you support Joe Biden. So 50 rescinded his endorsement of Donald Trump, and then went and said he's going to support Joe Biden. But $1 million, I mean, I don't know. That's not worth my integrity when it comes to that type of stuff. I wouldn't endorse either candidate, to be honest with you. But maybe Joe Biden for $1 million. $1 million is a lot of money, but Trump, nah. So we see this all the time.
It was too late. He already had said what he said about Trump. So I don't even understand why that transaction even.
What he should have did was pay somebody at the supervised elections office for 1 million more votes. That's what he should have did, because he probably needed that a lot more than buying another. And you see this a lot of times with these white patriarchal men, where they feel like Negroes just buy. You could just buy and sell people, and that's just the antithesis of corporate America, which he's a part of, which Trump is a part of.
And who leaked that story?
You got it from XL, double XL.
Because is that legal?
What, to pay? It's not illegal to pay somebody to endorse you.
Oh, it's not?
No, you think all these celebrities, you think Cardi B and all these other folks didn't get paid?
No, I guess not.
I'm sorry, Jess. I don't want to put my tinfoil hat on. Go ahead. What was your question?
Well, we could transition to Cardi B, but before we do that, I got a question. Do you think that 50 Cent turned down the money because it was only $1 million? Do you think that if they would have offered him a larger amount, he would have done it? Because he's about his paper.
Yes. I absolutely think. like we said, there are some people that are out here, whether it's in politics, whether it's in dating or sex, there are some, we'll call them transactional tramps. And that is universal. They can be male or female. So, yeah, I don't doubt that. Everybody, there used to be a wrestler called the $1 Million Man, and his tagline was everybody has a price. So it's very easy for people to say what they're not going to do until the paper is right in front of you. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's the truth. So
yeah, I think I've seen some of those shows. I can't remember what show or if it was a movie, and the person just kept saying, like, that's not what I'm asking. How much does it cost? Or what's your price? And they kept saying, like, no, what's your price? Tell me what's your price. They're like, it's not for sale. It's like, no, what's your price?
Right. Because everything's for sale.
Listen, there are people out here doing less for Hot Pockets and Capri Suns in these streets.
Wow.
Hey, get how you live. If you're doing this for Capri Suns and Hot Pockets, I ain't judging you. That's a need. That's a need right there.
Yeah.
Well, listen, speaking of hot topics, Hot Pockets, let's talk about my girls who are dominating this year, starting with Cardi B. And y'all already know how much I love her. But yes, Billboard has named her Woman of the Year, so she will be getting honored with that. And you already know the trolls are not really feeling it, saying that she only came out with one song. But what did she say? CJ, we all know. We all know.
I am that troll. Go ahead.
But like she said, your grandmother was, I guess we can't say, the JJ Poppin on TikTok to her songs. And let's not forget that even though not everybody agreed with her, the way she was using her platform, she did use her platform for good. She got people out there to vote. She has a large amount of followers. So, hey, kudos to Cardi. Shout out to her. All the haters, y'all can go somewhere because y'all just mad. And let's talk about our next. Oh, well, actually.
Wait, I want to say something about Cardi B.
Because I already know TJ got something to say. Go ahead, Giovanni.
Okay, so my thing is, yes, I feel like this whole movement that we're transitioning into of allowing people to be Women of the Year, not necessarily based off of like the normal traditional good standards that people do. Now, just like if you come up with something new that makes you stand out as a woman or be bold or be different, we're going to nominate you as like Woman of the Year. And I mean, we could even, and I honestly feel like it started with Caitlyn Jenner. Like that was a whole thing, like not even a woman, but looked like a woman and, you know, made that transition. And it was just kind of like, well, this is a statement for what we are going to now define as being bold for women. And then I feel like with Cardi B, it was like, okay, well, since you're talking about pussy and that's sensitive topic.
Go ahead. I like where you're going, Javonni. Go ahead, please be as descriptive as possible. As descriptive as possible.
Sensitive topic.
Okay.
You know, we're gonna nominate you as Woman of the Year because you taking a stance on something that people may be afraid to like talk about. I mean, even though we got Trina, Lil Kim, Kaya, all these people that then clearly put the vagina on blast, but it's now becoming acceptable. Or it's now being promoted in a positive way. And that's part of the whole Me Too movement, I feel like.
Right. I don't know. I feel like it's more than just about the song that nominated her for Woman of the Year. I think it's about how she uses her platform. And, you know, she did have that interview with Joe Biden. She was out there encouraging people to vote. So she does have those positive aspects too.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Like, as far as like embracing like her sexuality and stuff is different. Like you said, we did have Lil Kim, but it's like now we're like in a different era where people are more open about it and it's becoming more accepting. But I would also like to say that jumping off on your point, it would be nice to see someone who's not a celebrity be Woman of the Year, someone who a lot of people don't, not that a lot of people don't know about, but someone who's making a big change, who's not as big as Cardi B. Because I feel like a lot of times they do emphasize celebrities when there's like a whole nother type of culture out there or another type of environment, people, and it would be nice to see that being highlighted as well. So I definitely get what you're saying.
Hopefully Kamala Harris be Woman of the Year next year because it wouldn't make sense if she's not.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Let's see what she does.
Yeah, look, Kamala's got to do a little bit more than Cardi B to get Woman of the Year. Listen,
Okay, all right.
This is yeah. She's got to do. Kamala's got to figure something out. All right. I mean, she's got to do a little something more than Cardi B.
Become a vice president.
Listen, she's I don't look. I think Cardi B at this point is turning into a bit like it's just she's in a box. Like we already know like what Cardi B brings to the table. I don't think there's another level to it. I honestly think that she should have like focused more on the acting. Maybe that is, but as far as like her music or what she portrays in the public or her relationships and stuff like that, it's pretty much the same. And I think the longevity of it is not something that's long lasting. So if she's getting Woman of the Year for something, she didn't have that great of a year. Like there are other people, other artists that have, or who are female who have had better years, Meg Thee Stallion being one of them. So I don't hate on nobody for getting their roses or whatever, but I'm just saying that I don't see I don't see 20 years from now that we're still talking about, about Cardi B. I would, but then again, I thought that about the Kardashians.
I definitely do. I definitely see her adapting and finding a way to keep herself relevant from where she started to where she is now, especially because a lot of people doubt her. And I feel like when you have people doubting you, it makes you want to go stronger. It makes you want to go harder. So I feel like she's always going to find a way to adapt. And that's just me. That's just my opinion of her. But I guess 20 years from now, we're going to see.
Yeah, I thought the same thing about Kim Kardashian, and she sure like flipped that whole scene. I was like, there's no way we're going to talk about Kim Kardashian 20 years from now, whatever. But now it's like we got to. Now it's not even Kim Kardashian; it's her kid. It's now their kids are going to come right behind her, and they're going to keep that whole thing going. So, yeah. So I don't know. It's all
Woman of the Year though during the coronavirus.
But
I don't know. I'm just like, what's the qualification? Because I'm thinking it would have been somebody that saved like hundreds of lives from people dying or something. I don't know. That's not like, is this a pop culture thing?
No, what I think.
What is the criteria? That's a good question.
You know what it is? It's like politics is mastering the meeting before the meeting, right? So we think it's Woman of the Year. A lot of these awards are deals with publicists. Not saying that people don't deserve certain things or certain accolades, but nothing is just what it seems. So who knows? She's been on the Billboard. It's a Billboard award. They're trying to, like we said with the Me Too movement, this year has been very much about empowerment. Like Javonni was saying, Pussy has had a great year this year. It's been the year of the Pussy. So they probably needed someone, and she's a big name that would bring more eyes, more recognition and more prestige to the award. So, let's cross our fingers for Kamala Harris next year. But she got to put a track out. Can Kamala rap? Just say.
Who knows?
Yo, funny. That's funny, man.
I will die if I see Kamala and Cardi B, popping it to a song or a TikTok next year. I'll just die.
Right.
I won't be surprised. But speaking of rappers, we got some news about Meg Thee Stallion and Giovanni. Let us hear about it.
Yes, Meg Thee Stallion, Young Meg, bold. She is Rapper of the Year. So the collaboration is Women of the Year, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Rapper of the Year. They had a song together, WAP. Another strong statement about the vagina and wet pussy. So I mean, I don't know. I really do think 2020 is like a year where it's just like everything is women empowerment, and it's like we've gonna redefine what that looks like. It's not gonna be the Hillary Clintons and whoever else. It's gonna be the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions. Like they're gonna be the Women of the Year, and this year it's gonna put a lot of people on. It's gonna give a lot of women confidence. Like, oh, okay, so I can do that. I can be whoever it is that I want to be. But as far as Meg Thee Stallion, people was giving her a lot of pressure because they was just like, bro, she don't have bars, and the music is lame and whack. And she clapped back and she was like, no, I really worked hard for this, and that's why I'm the Rapper of the Year. Some people were saying it should have been the Baby, And so, of course, Meg felt like they were being critical to her because she's a woman. And a lot of women were feeling the same way. Like, just let her get it. Like, they said she the rapper of the year. It is what it is. Y'all don't got to be throwing out somebody. Should have been Future. Should have been the baby. And then it goes to the back to the question, like what qualifies you as rapper of the year? Now, Meg, she has a good track record from 2019 all the way to 2020. So I think she does. I think she got a good little track record this year. So what y'all think?
I feel like people are always gonna find a way to hate no matter what. But I definitely feel like Meg Thee Stallion deserved it. She had a lot of hits. But
she's a lot of hits.
People are gonna hate, and that's it. And I think another reason too why she might have gotten it, and I don't want to take away from her music, was because of the whole situation that happened with Tory Lanez. But that's just my opinion. I don't know.
People were saying that too. They was like, "Yeah, this is a sympathy vote." Story out there.
Maybe just the way she handled the situation. I don't know.
Now, if she would have came back, and I don't know if she did because I haven't listened to her recent music, but if she would have came back with a hit, like about Tory Lanez, like she went in on him like you know.
Isn't she about to drop an album?
I don't know, but now that would have made her rapper of the year, kind of like what Drake did in the whole Meek Mill situation. You know, like we go 0 to 100. Like that's you the rapper of the year for that. So hopefully she come out with a bang going in on Tory Lanez, like how he tried to go in on her to really prove herself. But I think for her to be 25 or 26, I mean, that's a big accomplishment.
It is.
I don't know what's next.
I do want to say though, I feel like if she would have came out with a song about getting shot or about like attacking Tory Lanez, I feel like people would have talked a whole bunch of shit. And they would have been like, "Oh, you're trying to profit from that."
True.
And, "Oh, did it really happen?" Because people already doubted that whole incident happened. So she came out and made a song. Like, think about it. Whenever someone passes away and they make a documentary, like the next day, we're like, "Oh, this is conspiracy." Like, how do you already have a documentary? So it's
that's true.
If she would have come out with a song, I feel like people would have been talking shit about that.
That's true too.
Yeah. But I think she actually deserves this award because she did. Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion actually had a big, it was Pussy and then Meg Thee Stallion, like we're neck and neck. And Meg Thee Stallion had a great year with her music. Do I agree with everything about Meg Thee Stallion besides her music, whatever? No, I don't. And I'm not talking about the Tory Lanez thing. I saw an interview with her where she was like, what's the girl from Mean Girls? The one that Rachel McAdams plays. The meanest one. Something George or something like that.
Regina George.
Regina George. She says she's the real life Regina George, and she's this. And I see that like there's certain things that like for instance, I don't think Nicki Minaj. I've never met Nicki Minaj. I don't think Nicki Minaj is a good person. I've heard enough. I've seen enough. I've heard the way she does interviews and stuff. I don't think that she comes off to me as a good person. Now I've never met her, so that's just me. My conjecture of what I'm seeing. And, personally, I have my opinions about, Meg Thee Stallion as I do other male rappers, but I can separate the artistry from the artist, and she actually had, a big year. So, kudos to her. And I'm interested to hear the next album. But like I said, if we're just going to keep talking about the same thing, Kevin Hart, I don't want to go off too much of the tangent, but I don't want to mess up our future deals with Kevin Hart or Laugh Out Loud Network. But I think he fell into that with his last comedy special that he was in. When you're doing the same thing and you kind of you're kind of plateauing where people are like, okay, what's the next level? Like Javonni said, I don't know. We shall see. But she does deserve it.
What you said though about Nicki Minaj not being a good person. Did you ever meet her?
No, I said that. I've never met her, but the way she comes off in interviews. And here's the thing: where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So when you have multiple media outlets, I've seen the Joe Button podcast where she was interviewed on the Joe Button podcast. I see that she had issues on American Idol. She had issues with with the people on the Breakfast Club. She had issues with this person. That like where there's smoke, there's fire. And I just feel like to the core, sometimes when you get to a certain level of success, you could start feeling yourself in treating people a certain way because you feel like you're above people, and that's that's her public perception. That's how I perceive her from the public eye. She could probably be the sweetest person to the people she knows, but her perception publicly, like me. There's a lot of people, y'all love me, but there's a lot of people that do not like TJ, that do not like me. You see what I'm saying? And that's cool. That's their right to not like me. But yeah, I just, if I do meet her one day, and I'll come right on here and change my opinion.
All right, just let me know. I've never met her, but I think she cool people or whatever. I would like to meet her.
Yeah, I used to like Steve Harvey.
It's got those personalities where it's just like
clashes.
I'm better than you.
I used to like Steve Harvey until I met him.
Wait, what?
Well,
I said
no,
I was saying. Oh, go ahead, Javonni. I'm sorry. I'm interrupting.
I was just saying that some people have those personalities where they're just really like, I'm better than you. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
No, I just think that she's just a rude person.
Oh, you think she's rude? Okay.
Yeah, like I can deal with someone who's got a little bit of I can deal with confidence, I can deal with a little ego, whatever. I can deal with, or a chip on your shoulder. I got a chip on my shoulder. But when I think that's like,
I don't know about Nikki. I ain't really watching interviews like that.
Yeah, but when it comes to the jury's still out on Meg this time. I'm waiting to see how this Tory Lane things plays out because trust me, if Tory Lanez is acquitted or they find out that he didn't do what he said he did, and I hope it works out for Meg Thee Stallion the way she wants it to be, and I hope she gets the justice. But boy, that podcast is going to be a doozy.
I bet you are looking forward to that one, Peter.
No, I hope she gets justice. I don't think any dude should just be out here shooting. But I know too much in the criminal justice system, especially how easy it is to be accused of something. Right. I know not to grab my pitchforks and my torches with everybody else. I'm gonna just wait. That's the same reason why I didn't buy the PlayStation or the Xbox. I'm gonna let everybody go first. I'm gonna let everybody test the coronavirus vaccine first. Y'all go first, and then I'm gonna come later. But go ahead.
I'm not getting that. But let's move on.
Oh, you're not getting the vaccine?
No, I'm not getting the vaccine. I'm sorry. I mean, obviously, if it becomes mandatory and we have to get it for whatever reason, and if we don't get it, we can't go into certain places, then maybe I will have to consider it because I have no choice. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm definitely not. I believe I read something earlier when they were first talking about it that they were going to give African Americans the first doses of it. But why would they do that? That sounds sus. That is true. That sounds sus. But I don't know if that's true. But what I'm saying is, I don't know if I trust a corona. I don't even take the flu shot. What do I need? No, I'm sorry.
Me neither. I don't.
That's weird because
I was just getting ready to say that Jeezy and Gucci is going in right now.
Are they really?
They're going in. I'm looking at the tweets in the comments. Everybody talking about Birdis and.
I'm Team Jeezy on that one. I don't really listen to
you
Gucci Mane stuff. Yeah. I didn't get the Snowman T-shirt, but I definitely listened to a lot of his first album. Was dope. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm Team Jeezy when it comes to that. When it comes to that rap battle,
I'm Team Gucci, but I mean, I like them both though.
Yeah. To be honest, I have to listen to.
They got music together, so.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to the verses because I remember when I watched the Brandy versus Monica, I went in there, I was like, I'm Team Brandy, but then I heard
really?
But then I heard some of Monica's old songs, and I was like, oh wait a minute, I forgot about this, I forgot about that song. So it's I forgot a lot about Jeezy and Gucci's music, so I gotta listen to it and then be and then I'll tell you who I'm Team.
And then another thing is it could be the age gap. Not calling you out, TJ, but
how old do you think I am?
No. I'm just saying that anybody that's probably close to 35 or 35 plus is probably Team Jeezy. I feel like anybody that's 35 and between 26 to maybe 35 is probably half Gucci Jeezy. Cause I see other people on here like it's all about that dirty trap muscle, but you know, like everybody like I know that's team, you know, they team Jeezy, but
that's just funny to me.
But I'm so icy. So icy.
Yeah, I got this. And then I'll tell you.
Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah. Speaking of icy, Michael B. Jordan's sexy ass was named.
I'm about to get off this feed.
Yay. Now, I do want to say something.
Did you just scream, Michael?
I do want to say this. I do think he is sexy and he's fine. And you guys know because I've spoken about him before on the show. But do y'all think, Javonni, I'm going to ask you, do you think he's the sexiest man alive?
It's the mouth for me. Sometimes his mouth could throw me off. But I mean,
you said it throws you off? His mouth?
Yeah, his mouth, it throw me off sometimes. Like, cause I don't know if he got fake teeth and it made his jaw big, or if his structure just kind of always been like that. I don't know. I'm just probably thinking too much into it. But sometimes I don't know if he upset or if he chilling, cause it's so like tight. But as far as like his manly features, face, skin tone, muscles, body, yeah, I think he's pretty sexy. I mean,
I think like the thing for me is like whenever you give somebody too much clout, or whenever you dramatize somebody's looks, that's when they become less attractive. I feel like that
could be true. That could be true.
That's when you start.
I get that all the time.
I don't know. It sounds weird. Like I feel like because there's been situations where like I was like, damn, he's fine, but then like afterwards it was like, but you're not really that cute.
Right.
Michael B. Jordan, because like I said, I think he's fine, but the alive, probably not alive. Maybe of the year, you know. Like
they be playing him up a little too much. But he is very nice looking. Now I think the other person could have been the guy from Power.
Or James St. Patrick?
Yeah, James St. Patrick. What's his real name?
I don't know, but he's fine.
But he fine. Now
he's fine.
Nah, he could be the sexiest man on the planet.
Yeah.
And I think that the sexiest man need to be somebody a little older for me. I need somebody that you look good right now. Right. Come on, for real. Come on. You know, I'm all about the bald heads and the beards. You know?
Listen, all I'm gonna say is stop the count.
Like, you not just looking good because you're young, but if you can show that look good because you got a little age on you, now that's sexy.
Right.
Stop the count. I demand a recount because every year I get looked over. But it's okay. Next year, look, like Meg Thee Stallion this year, next year is gonna be my year. So I'm just gonna, but there's some voter fraud in the Sexiest Man Alive competition always.
What's the criteria for that too? I'd like to know.
I think it's just sexy, and so I don't know how many votes. I don't know who votes. You see what I'm saying? Who votes for that? Who votes
exactly?
For that? So once again, it's one of those propaganda stuff. Look, as long as Michael B. Jordan can direct another Creed movie, because I think he's going to be the director for the third Creed movie. If he could direct and act that, then I'm good with it. But next year,
I wish you could just pull up James St. Patrick right now.
Yeah, go ahead, do that. You could post a little picture for us or something.
Show the people a little picture. Sorry, Michael, you need a little more age.
What's his name again?
This
Ghost.
And they got a different name. Hold on.
I'm telling you, but you know what? It's so funny that you say that too, Giovanna, because now I'm thinking, and I think
Amari Hardwick is his name.
Yes.
Oh, and his name's sexy.
Girl. I think the roles that they play make them even more attractive because if it's a role that's like, it kind of like it downplays their looks a little bit. There was a movie, and I can't think of what it was that he played in. Oh, it was for Colored Girls, and he played
the dude on the down low?
And he was cheating on Janet, and he ended up giving
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, like, I'll find you attractive there. Like, how you do that to your girl? But like, like his character is so powerful, and it draws you. At least me, it draws you more to him. So yeah, definitely.
That's true.
They make them more sexy, for sure.
That's true. Even like Andre, because Andre is fine too from Power. Andre, remember Andre?
Oh, Timmy.
Yeah, it's just he's very nice looking too, but I just hate him on the show.
Right. His character.
Like, you cry, baby.
For sure. Did you got that picture for us or not?
Yes. Hold on. Damn.
We just waiting.
Right. We're just trying to see.
At this point in time, I'd just like to say, Alan, get well, or hope all is well with you.
That's right. We're missing Alan. Shout out to Alan.
Yes. All right. There you go.
You could have pulled up a better picture, but okay.
I'm not gonna look at a picture with this man and get with his shirt off and shit, and looking all with a baby oil, talking about, oh, TJ pulled up this picture. No, that's what y'all get. Y'all get that nigga in a suit and squint and use your imagination, and y'all got Google. That's what y'all get on the soapbox here. One more time.
I appreciate it.
That's what y'all get. Him in that suit with his twist up.
But yeah.
Hands strong. His hands look strong.
Power. But look,
is that what girls look at? The girls look at a guy's hands?
Hey, we looking at what y'all looking at? What y'all looking at?
I do. I look at hands and I look at the arms.
I actually, you know what? The first thing I look at is smile. I go smile, boobs, and then smile, boobs, eyes. What is it? Smile, boobs, eyes. I recently got into like looking at somebody's feet because I used to be like, nah, I'm not. You know, my feet ain't the great. Yeah, my feet ain't the greatest. So I was like, look, but I started getting these pedicures, and now my foot game is a little up there now. So now I'm like, yo, somebody got to elevate their game. So now I'm looking into that. But other than that, yeah, smile, and eyes,
you know boobs. Somebody. You know when a man looking at your feet too, he can't help it.
I mean, it's obvious.
But it's not like a foot fetish. Some of these dudes, you know what I realized? And I think this is a good platform for me to say this. There's some dudes that are just weird. I don't know how women put up with it. Like, there's some dudes that are just weird and creepy. Like,
people have made millions of dollars on OnlyFans, literally for just showing their feet.
Girl,
listen. When we get the Sexiest Man Alive award, Soapbox is going to be Soapbox XXX OnlyFans. That's what we come up with. Soapbox with 3X is going to be OnlyFans.
People will be all up on the camera, I promise.
Yep, all the fetish. Y'all can, look, if I did anything fetish-wise, it would be like, people who like watching bigger people eat. Like, that just looked like fun to me. Like, there are people that get off on stupid shit like that.
Weird. That's why
that is weird. That is weird. It's weird. If you're gonna pay $25 a month to Popeyes,
people like what they like, and that's them. That's what they like. There's weird people out there. There's not. I mean, what is weird? Everybody likes their own things. But
exactly.
We are not going to normalize everybody's weird stuff. If you out there, if you want to, I think people are weird. People who like to do that foot play, that's weird to me.
Yeah, that's weird to you, but that's not weird to them.
I know, right? It's so sad that it has to be.
Javonni, you better not be out here doing them foot play.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's sad that like stuff that people want to normalize that their body fiends for is like not accepted.
Right.
I mean,
like you'd be judgmental. If dudes like want to do some weird stuff, you'd be like, okay, but
I'm definitely not a judgmental person. I'm always trying to figure out like why you doing that though.
But you can tell that you the girl that's gonna text her friends after. She gonna talk about me.
No,
I'm not gonna put it in the group chat like, girl.
Women do that. I told you Javonni's like that. Javonni is gonna be like, I'm gonna do it. Okay, if that's what you like, I'm cool. But as soon as she's like, look, girl, this man
accepting him for who he is, but she's still like looking for some input and letting her girls know, like, This is what.
Yeah, thank you.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks, Jess. Just be having a tea and the advice.
I got you, girl. I got you. And let me tell you something. There's nothing like good friends because George Clooney, he done. Girl, tell us what he done did.
He done did it. That's what he did. He did it for his friends, and he did it out of good faith. Every one of his close friends, 14 of them. Remember that number 14 received $1 million. No debt-free, tax-free, no percentage rate, no APR, none of that. It's just, here go your million. You don't have to pay me back. And it says a lot because he was like, listen, these people's going to be in my will anyways. So why can't I just pay them out right now? Why do I have to wait till I die? So, and that just says a lot. That goes back to, how people say give women their flowers while they're still alive.
Yeah.
Not saying that, every time you get $500, because just because you got $20,000 in the bank mean you got to start paying people $500 because you're trying to show them you appreciate them. But whenever you do make it to a level of where you can show people appreciation, I think that that says a lot. But he also made it very clear, these are my friends.
Right.
They've been with me for more than 30 years. So that's why I feel comfortable with giving them this large amount of money. Not friend. I mean, go ahead. Y'all say, because I don't know.
Look, go ahead, TJ. I'll let you take this one.
Yeah. What's the deal on friends?
Listen, I think what he did was beautiful. I think actually it's smart because if you give people their money up front, because these are the people that are going to keep hitting you up anyway. It's better to give people their chunk of change. And if you're a celebrity, and then have them say, all right, that's you. That's your money. You do with it what you want, rather than people constantly coming back and hitting you up. So, but I think you definitely need to. I think Pat McAfee, he was a former NFL punter, and he was now he's he does social media. He's basically doing what we're doing. He gave all of his friends, he had like 6 people that does his show with him. He gave them a bag of, once he signed his deal with, I think, FanDuel and some other people, he gave them a book bag full of $50,000. And he was like, that's how you do. You make sure that everybody at the table eats first. Because if you eat, if you're at the head of the table and you're eating and everybody around you's not eating, then they're going to devour you. And they're going to make life for you live in hell. And then you got to worry about being, extortion and all these other different plots. You see the guy who used to be a cornerback for the New York Giants. He went into that where he was being extorted, and they just found out that he was found not guilty. So yeah, make sure your people eat. I can send y'all some $5 for the people that have been supporting me, but I'm gonna have to post date it. I'm gonna have to post date it, make sure it clears first. But yeah, you definitely need to. That's one of the things that's definitely a goal of mine with the people I have around me, is you want to make sure that you take care of your folks. So kudos to George Clooney.
For sure.
I'm like, Lord, I see what you have done for others. Listen, I would do the same. I always said that if I win the lottery, which, I will one day, guys, so stay tuned, I'm always going to bless, or I've always had a plan to bless those around me. And obviously some people would get larger amounts than others, but I always said that I would want to use that money to be a blessing to somebody else. So I think that's pretty dope that he did that. So yes,
I would just like to request my $20 in singles, please. When you win the Chris $1 bills, please.
But look, let's move on. So we have a new segment. Well, it's not a new segment, but it's gonna be a new segment because I'm the host today. So we have on IDGAF, and I don't know. Can I say it? TJ? I don't know. That's what it is. And so basically, I'm going to show you guys a clip about someone who really did not give a flying fuck. TJ, can you say that for us, please?
Which clip? Were we talking about the mom or the?
We're talking about the driver in New York who got upset over a parking spot.
Oh, we do not have that clip. I apologize. We were supposed to have that clip. I apologize. I didn't know that we were supposed to have the clip of the driver. Please explain it to us.
So yes, all right, I'm going to try my best to explain it. So basically, this went down to Queens. So they were arguing over a parking spot, and in the video clip, like you can see the guy follow the other guy, and he had a white car. I'm not even gonna say what made it because I don't know. And it looked like what appeared to be a bat, and he hit his car. And then he hit his car, and then the white car comes around and hits the guy who hit his car, and he runs him right into a bodega. And
really, wow,
yeah, basically messed up the whole store. And like, I mean, I have road rage. I will admit to it, but I feel like there's certain levels of road rage. Yes, I get really active on the road.
I would have never thought, not you.
But there's certain levels to road rage. Like that is like an extreme level of road rage. So I need to hear from you guys. Like, have you ever experienced or have you ever seen like a high level or a crazy level of road rage? Let me know, because that was insane. And luckily, I do want to note that nobody died. So thank God. And the store was a new store. So it's going to be easier for them to rebuild, because it's not like, they lost a lot. I mean, the whole store just shattered. But yeah, let me know. You guys got
I actually did like about a month ago. Someone pulled out, it was here in Orlando. It was some guy was in the wrong lane, and like he was trying to cut me off, and I beat the horn. And so when I beat the horn, the dude was like, he was saying stuff in his car, and I thought it was like telling me thank you or whatever. So I rolled down I didn't roll down, my car's not that old. So I went and I pressed the button, my window came down, and he was like, yo, you ready to die? You ready to die? I was like, but he had this ugly white girl in the car. And I was like, all right. And he's like some Puerto Rican looking dude. So I was like, okay, you're trying to act tough or whatever. So we ended up going down the same, path or whatever, or I ended up going down the same street. And I looked at, I was like, yo, and he was like, you ready to die? Dude comes out and flashes his gun and was like, yo, you was like, you ready to do this? You ready to die? And so I just like put my phone like up, and he was like, and immediately when I put my phone showing that I was about to record his behind, he was all like, oh, so that's what you gonna do? So you know what's going on with the black? He was like, what's going on with the Black Lives Matter, and so you gonna be? I was like, wait a minute, you ain't no ally, like nigga, get out of here. But yeah, there's dudes out here that don't know anything about conflict resolution, and he was just stunting for his girl, and his girl was quite ugly, so he lost for the night. So I was like, that's probably like your shtick that you have to do in front of your lady or whatever. So as someone who has a license to be a security guard, I don't say it takes a lot, but my patience for certain things, I can tolerate certain things because I know that I've been around a lot of those situations where I could de-escalate rather than thrashing. But once I get into that mode, then it's over. But like I was just looking at him like it was silly. I think I was more like, I wouldn't say in shock, but I was more like, is this dude for real? Like, is it like it wasn't even that serious, and he just went like, OD.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's different levels. I remember recently, actually, I was at a red light, and the guy in front of me, his car stops working, so the light turns green, and like for me, I'm like, what's going on? But it was on my comm day, so like I really didn't care. But the guy behind me starts honking his horns, where I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, it's not on me, it's on the guy in front of me. So then eventually I realized that the guy in front of me, his car's not working. So like I go around and, I start driving. Then the guy behind me, he does a dramatic little turn. He speeds up. He goes in front of me. And like now he's like braking like purposely so I can hit him. And no, but before he did that, actually, he stuck his middle finger out at me. And you're not about to stick your finger out at me and you think I'm not going to do it back. So I did it back. So after I did it back, he kept braking like because he wanted me to hit him. And so that's when I noticed like he's being confrontational and I'm pregnant, and so I'm not really about to be about that life.
Oh, so this was like recent.
Yes. So I was like, go ahead and do what you need to do. Like, I already gave you the finger. Like, I'm not about to lose my life over something that is not even that serious. So, like, I feel like when it comes to that, too, you have to be careful because there's really, like, I talk about I have road rage, but it's not as extreme as people out there who are really willing to, like, kill you. Because
you really don't know what people are going through in this world and there's certain things. And honestly, I would say 8 times out of 10, when you get into those type of situations, it has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with what they're going through, and you just in the crosshairs. Like I've had weird shit like that happen. I remember I was sitting on the park when I used to take the bus. I used to sit on the bus bench at the train station, at the bus station, and a lady, it was like an old white lady, got off the bus, and she just started screaming at me. Like she started screaming at me. I thought she was possessed. She started screaming at me, and then when she was done, she just walked off like nothing happened. I was like, yo, it's strange out here.
That's me.
People are that's a spirit. People out here, you don't know what they're going through, so you just that's why you always got to cover yourself and make sure that you're good, because people are out here going through it, and you don't know what you did to trigger other people.
That's facts. Javonni, you have a story? No.
Nah, y'all was saying some deep stuff. Unfortunately,
she's like, nobody tried me over here.
Well, okay, this did happen to me. A very personal story that I've never shared. So hopefully this doesn't freak out my family or anything. But yeah, I was in a situation where like this man tried to, I don't know if he was trying to kill me or
like a dude you dated?
No idea what he was trying to do, but he was upset. No, I was not dating him.
Oh, okay.
I was with a group of friends and just around the wrong people at
listening to Gucci music,
the wrong time. Right, exactly. And I was trying to get crunk with somebody, and it just got physical. Like he just like he was trying to like choke me out.
Was this like college?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
This was when I was in college. Yep. And my friends had to step in, try to help, and
wow.
Yeah. It was a traumatic experience. So much to the point where I don't even talk about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that time that man almost died. But
wow. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's not okay at all.
Not at all. So this was you were at a party, and he just y'all got into it. You had words, he had words, and they tried to hem you up or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
He was picking a fight with one of my friends, and so me trying to jump in like, don't talk to my friends like that, and then he just like attacked me. So it was just crazy.
Yeah. That's what, and thank you for sharing that. You know what? That's probably one of the reasons why I don't enjoy, like, even when we went out in groups, I don't enjoy going out to clubs. Like if I go to clubs with my guy friends or my female associates, whatever, like I never have a good time because I'm hypersensitive to where they're at all times, because these type of things always happen. You got to make sure that, like, being a security guard, you see there are women out there that don't know. They'll be at a club and they're oblivious to the amount of guys that will follow you in a club, and you have no idea. Like, security guards, if they're doing a good job, like when you're watching, I've had to tell several dudes. That's why I know dudes are creepy. And that's why I tell my nieces that. Like, dudes are really creepy, and it's that testosterone in their brain that's telling them, oh, she's great. I just gotta follow her. Like, that is dangerous. Like, I've had to tell a dude, yo, do you know? I used to have to pull him aside. Yo, you know her? He's like, nah. I was like, yo, stop following her. I was like, if you follow her, I'm gonna have to kick you out. Like, that's what they do. So it's crazy. But go ahead, Jess.
So we need more people like that, seriously, who are more mindful and more aware of, what's going on, and can actually look out for these women, because you never know. Like, there was a story out here a few years ago where a young Cape Verdean girl got killed by somebody from the club. So yeah, it's crazy. So.
It's crazy.
You definitely got to. I asked, all women should carry something, whether it's a knife, whether it's spray, whether it's, you got to carry something to protect yourself, because. And I'm not saying, I know women and empowerment, but let's just talk about the, stature. There are dudes out here who are stronger than women. If you catch yourself by yourself, you see what I'm saying? And you're not carrying anything, you don't want, I'd rather you have something than not. So it's crazy that we have to live in that type of world. And we need to live in a world where men respect women enough where that they don't have to. And I hate the fact that we're always telling women, oh, you got to protect yourself. And I think dudes do that because we're trying to be protective. But I think it's more important for men like myself to tell dudes, calm the fuck down, stop being creepy, chill the fuck out. You see what I'm saying? Like so that women don't have to. Well, we have to protect ourselves, but then men, we have to do a better job of teaching, our dudes something different.
Right, and let's not forget that sometimes men are the victims. Like in our next story, and we're gonna title this segment "Toxic Love," and we're gonna start with what happens in Atlanta. Can you tell us about what happened on the team?
Listen, long story short, this, on these dating apps, everybody's, tries to find love in different ways. But this woman went on a date with this guy, and it turned left. Apparently, this guy felt like he spent too much money on the girl. They were out having a good time. And she got in the car with the dude, and he got upset, said he felt like he spent too much money on her, and he just got violent, got physical, said he was dead set on killing her, and said he was going to kill her, and she just feared for her life. And so she says he started beating me in my head, punching me everywhere, my forehead, my temples, my cheek, my jaw, my throat, my arms, my back. He was just telling me that the date cost too much and that I'm not worth it. So I would tell this fuckboy, then don't date, nigga. Like don't go out there if you ain't got paper. Like then don't date. So I always look, if you can't afford the most expensive thing on the menu twice, then you should not be going out on dates. And just asking a woman, hey, yeah, go out and look. Let me not paraphrase that because I don't want people feeling like I'm rolling in dough. But that's just my mindset. Like if you don't have the funds, then don't go out and try to take someone out. When you're inviting someone out on a date, that means you're fitting the bill. Like that's just you see what I'm saying? Like unless you've established, like I've had a woman tell me, hey, I know we just met, and she actually asked me like, hey, are we, could we go somewhere that's more financially feasible because I just started back working, whatever. And I thought that was the most sexiest thing she could have told me because I was like, thank you for not assuming, but I got it. You see what I'm saying? Like if you don't have if you're not financially stable enough, you shouldn't be dating anyway. But yeah, definitely keep your hands to yourself. They definitely catch the dude. And that's for both people. That's for both, but mainly dudes. Like, keep your hands to yourself and make sure that they charged this guy and they found him. But it's like Javonni was saying, it's unfortunate that she had to go through this traumatic experience. And I think we need to start having more of these conversations at a younger age for young men. A lot of times when we talk about domestic violence, we talk about dating violence. It's very reactive, right? Mm-hmm. A guy has done something, and then it's like, okay, let's try to reprogram you because you did something that you weren't supposed to do, right? And so if we start teaching, like we teach, health education, sex ed stuff, if we start teaching about domestic violence and those type of things in schools earlier, then we would probably curb some of these situations because 80% of the dudes that commit domestic violence acts go back. So the system's not actually set up for rehabilitation. It's just constant, and women are constantly being victimized, and men too. And then we also have same-sex relationships that have domestic violence as well. So yeah, I don't like here. I have nieces. I know y'all. Like I don't like hearing stories like that, especially because that right now, like you gotta find. There's certain things when we talk about like there's certain things like you as a man you gotta be, and that's just talking about me, that you gotta be okay with going to jail for. You see what I'm saying? Like in that type of stuff, like if you find him before the cops do. And and I know you got to be okay with the consequences of your actions. And finding him and beating the shit out of him and taking your 6 months to a year or probation or whatever in jail, knowing that you had that gratification, then you gotta be okay with living like that. That's just my point of view. Because I don't think I could live in a situation where that happened to my niece or my sister or something like that, and I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs. Y'all saw what happened last week. Someone hit my sister, and I shut the whole shit down. like I don't. You gotta be. I take that protective stuff to heart. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, go ahead. I know I was rambling.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say, because I just realized my transition about that women aren't always the victims, but obviously that wasn't the story I was talking about, because obviously she was the victim in the story. But yeah, men, y'all just need to keep. Everybody just needs to keep their hands to themselves. Period. And like you said, if you cannot afford to take a woman out, stay your ass at home. Like, why are you even dating? Or like, just be honest about your finances. Why are you mad because you spent too much on her? Okay, if you felt that way, then all right, express that like a grown-ass man, or y'all don't have to go out again. But why do you need to put your hands on her? It sounds like a mental illness to me. I don't know, but
it's actually, and let me say this, because it's actually not. It's not anything mental. What it is when it comes to domestic violence and it comes to and men, it's more about their pathway. And their pathway is like how you grew up, how you were raised, the trauma that you've actually seen and experienced, even the messages that we see on TV. For instance, I always use this as an example. When you look at the State Farm commercial, where she says, where the guy's on the phone and she runs down and says, well, who are you talking to? And she's like, I'm talking to Steve. Well, what is Steve wearing? Oh, he's wearing khakis. Well, put him on the phone. I want to. If you look at that and you switch the genders, right? Like, you look at that and everybody thinks that's funny, but that too is domestic violence, because domestic violence has to do with power and control rather than just, oh, I got anger issues. Anger and love is the same type of emotion, right? But when it comes to domestic violence, it's your pathway, it's your allure of power and control. The domestic violence is also financial abuse. Oh, you can't go out because I got the money, I make the money in the house. And that's why you see a lot of women who stay in relationships, because they don't have the finances to actually move on with their lives. And I'm not trying to be funny. That's why you see a lot of times in tax season, there's a lot of women that start breaking up. No, I'm being real. A lot of women start around tax time. The women start, oh, I thought you was with him. All of a sudden,
that's true.
All of a sudden, April and May, there's a lot of women out. Oh, girl, I'm just saying, you just never know. Just like as soon as you get dudes too. Like I told y'all about a situation where I stayed in a relationship way too long because of the situation I was in. Once I got my paper right, I had to go. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be funny about that, but these are the realities of what people have to deal with in relationships. Relationships are tough. I just had a meeting today with the Orange County Safety Task Force, and we were talking about prevention of gang violence and stuff like that. And a lot of this has to do with economics. When your money is not right, you're in a stressful situation. That causes a lot of this violence to perpetuate in your home, and then with men, when you don't have your purpose in life and you don't know who you are, and you feel like, or you at a job and some bosses talk to you any type of way, and then you come home and you want to be king of the castle because you feel inadequate all day. So now when she's giving you mouth, you feel like, well, damn, I'm not a king of the castle at my job, I think. So now I'm gonna go ahead and exude my dominance by beating the shit out of her. And that's just not the way to go. So we need to teach men to address their pathway, address their trauma, and destigmatize mental health so that people can unpack this shit. So
amen. Dropping gems, TJ. I see you. Giovanni, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it does have something to do with people's mental health. The 37-year-old woman in, was this Chicago? Yeah.
Go ahead. Yes,
oh, wait, do you want me to talk about that or not yet? Okay, the 37-year-old woman in Chicago, who killed her ex-boyfriend, who was 44 years old. Her friends reportedly said they only were dating for like 3 months. And this is like months later, 6 months later, she's still following this guy. She found out where he lived. Next thing you know, he's shot dead. And then the police, they're saying in their reports that when they questioned her about it, she's saying, oh, she got memory loss. Help me remember who y'all talking about and what happened. And they showed her a picture. No, calm down. Here. They showed her a picture of the guy, and she was freaking out, like she was having a panic attack, like, get this guy away from me. Don't ever show me his picture again. So I don't know if she's playing crazy or if she is crazy. So, and I won't even say crazy. I'll say I don't know if she's playing crazy or if she has mental health issues. So, I mean, yeah, men out here being threatened just as much as women, as we can see from these stories. And hopefully what they stop doing is, hold on one second.
Mom.
Yes. Here. Hopefully what they stop doing is categorizing Black people as violent all the time, and that they do start recognizing that we have mental health issues too, because it's always just like the murderer or the thug or he was violent or he had weed in his system and all that type of stuff. It's just like what that I mean, you know, unless the person was cracked out on dope, okay, that's something. But y'all talking about a person who had weed in their system or they had a violent past when they was 15. I mean, yeah, that probably does play a role in it, but it's just like, let's take facts. This person has a mental health issue. If somebody stood in front of the police and was homeless and said, shoot me, I think that's a mental health issue. That wasn't him threatening the cops. It's like he got a problem. It's like how they recognize white people with all their mental health issues, and they recognize the shooter who shot up Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, and they were saying, you know, well, he was adopted and his parents were in his life and he was struggling as a child, failing in school. Okay. Same thing with JR. That's down the street in Paramore, across town. You know, he didn't shoot up the school. So I think it's a disconnection when it comes to the Black community. We don't recognize the mental health issues, and all the police reports do is log that we were violent, and that's what they're reporting. So. No,
you're real. That's real. And a lot of times people are talking about instead of actually talking, instead of destigmatizing mental health, we just kind of we go to church. And we say, oh, just pray about it. And so sometimes we have to actually do the work. I think now that I'm getting older, not as old as probably Javonni thinks I am, but now that I'm actually getting older.
I don't think you're old. I know how old you are. I'm more like, you have to, whether it's your happiness, whether it's finding out what hasn't worked in your relationships, like you have to put the time in. Like, I never understood that whole, like, oh, you gotta be, you know, when people say, oh, I gotta be by myself and just you know, and focus on you, whatever, like that shit is real. I've learned that more so this year, I guess, because it's more of a pandemic and dating and going out is a little bit more limited. But like really doing a deep dive into your shit, into how are you fucking up? And I think that level of self-actualization people aren't really accustomed to. People don't really want to look themselves in the mirror and be like, and take responsibility for what they have actually done, or what they've done, or the things that they need to do in order to take themselves to the next level, or to be a whole person. So I implore everybody, male or female, to do that. Do a deep dive into yourself and find out, you know, and understand your pathway and deal with stuff. Like once you start really meditating, or even, I don't even call it meditating, or really like thinking, like sitting down and really thinking and having those
internal conversations, past the negative shit, past the self-doubt, where you start really like trying to unpack your own stuff, you will begin to heal and get to a certain level of peace than you've ever achieved, and you'll be able to figure stuff out, because you can't be with somebody else if you're not whole, right? And it's so irresponsible.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true. Like, you can't, and if you don't have a idea of who you, I'm talking about as your core, you can always grow with a person, right? But I'm talking about if you don't know who you are, if you don't know your triggers, if you don't know, like, if you're not, if you don't understand you in a totality sense, you can't be with somebody. And not only, I will say this, not only can you not be with somebody, not only can you not be with somebody, thank you, not only can you not be with somebody, but it's damn right irresponsible, right, to try to be with someone and put them in a position to be their savior, right? To be your savior, right? So you come into a relationship space. Sorry, Jess, I know I'm kind of thing, but you come into a space and you're expecting them, because you didn't put in the work, to fill a void for you, right? So you want them to, and that's about when people talk about being equally yoked. That's what they mean by that. Like, that's not equally yoked. That's you using somebody else as a crutch because you didn't want to put in the work on your own time to figure out your shit, to understand, hey, so when you understand yourself and then you're in a relationship, then you can appropriately tell someone, hey, I'm triggered because of this. You may be still healing from some things, but at least you can identify where you're not coming into a situation broken and then expecting somebody else and giving them the responsibility to fix you, right? Because then once you become whole, or once you become like, oh, I'm fixed, then you look around and you tell the person, well, thank you. Either you'll say thank you in some instances and be like, well, I realized I don't really want to be with you. And then that causes a conflict. Or you will always depend on that person to be your security blanket or your binky, right? So when they're your security blanket, if they were to do something, whether it's cheat, whether it's something that is out of the norm or whatever, you're not at 100%. And I know with us, like, when you're not at 100%, then you can't rely on them. So you're going to always look out for another outlet. And then that's when you end up going and looking for gratification outside of your relationship. So my best advice for someone who's actually doing the work is to figure your shit out. Too many times we want to just put our stuff on other people. No, figure it out. Like, if you don't grow up with a father, then figure out what type of father that you potentially want to be, right? By doing the work. And that's by therapy. That's by talking to people who are fathers, talking to people who are in successful relationships, so that you then can say, okay, and learn from other people. And I think we, especially with Black folks, we don't talk to our elders enough. Like, we don't talk to, we think it's something that, like, taboo, where we shouldn't talk to people who have come before us. Talk to the people who are on the level that you want to be on.
But do you think it could be like a judgy thing, like a judgmental thing? Because a lot of people don't feel comfortable talking to their elders because they might feel like they're being judged. So
maybe don't tell them your business.
Correct. Like, you can be in a safe space. Like, for instance, like, you can, like me, the people who I look up to, I just watch how they are, and the things that they say to me and their lifestyle have to match up. Like me, I'm very big on, like, your integrity. Like, it has to match up. So when I'm looking at people who are in a successful marriage, just pick their brain. Just be like, hey, like, if you were, for instance, if you want a job in college, they teach us what? You might want to do what? Get an internship, right? So if you want to, you can't surround yourself, and you also got to And the hardest part about self-actualization and self-awareness is realizing that you got the wrong fucking people around you. That is the hardest part for me. The hardest part is when you start figuring your stuff out and unpacking your stuff, and then you're like, man, the things and the goals that I have for myself and the vision I have for myself, the people around, like, you can't be in a successful relationship if all of your friends are single, they all got drama with men or women, or you can't be, I don't think you can be, you're a successful dad and then all the dudes that you hang out with are deadbeat dads. That shit don't work.
I don't agree
because you don't agree with that?
No. I feel
really?
like
okay.
Yes, I feel like you could still be who you are if you're gonna be who you are regardless of your environment. Now, do I think your environment plays a part? Yes, there are factors to that. However, if you want to talk about the dad part, if you're a good dad, you're going to be a good dad. It doesn't matter if those around you are deadbeats. That's not going to affect who you are. But I feel like because you are that good parent, then you can teach them. Right? It's up to them if they want to learn. But I don't think just because you're surrounded by deadbeats that makes you, or that's going to make you a deadbeat.
Well, I think it also has a lot to do with character. Like for me, I couldn't be around a guy, you hanging out and chilling with me, and you ain't seen your child. You ain't like, that's not about being a business. That's like you as a friend, like talking to your other dudes. You see what I'm saying? Like all of when I realized, except Alan. I think me and Alan are the last two, but all of my friends are either in long-term relationships, engaged, or married, right? And me, I'm the measure 1,000 times, cut once dude. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not. But you see what I'm saying? And Alan is, Alan is Alan. So we'll see. We'll see. I won't speak for him. But that's, to me, you want to surround yourself for success. And so anytime you have a problem within your relationship, who's one of the first people you go to is the people around you. So you can't, if you're talking to your homegirls or your homeboys about relationships, they can only give you advice from their own perspective. Right. And if they have all and if you're around yourself with, well, girl, these niggas ain't shit. They all cheat. They all dogs. You could be influenced by that. They may be good people, but their experience is not where you want to go. And it's not about beef. Like, you don't have to, people think that because you let people go in your life or you kind of fade away, like, it's not about beef or having an argument. It's just that you just look at the situation and you say, you know what, I'm done with that, right? No beef, no anger, whatever. It's just you want to move on to a different level of success, personally, professionally. And I think that's a lot of times where people never maximize their potential because they get stuck and comfortable being surrounded by mediocrity. You see what I'm saying? Hopefully I'm saying it, being mediocre, right? So, that's, so you got to change. Everybody can't stay. That's when you want to be successful, everybody can't stay. Like, you guys are all go-getters in your own right. I said this to y'all many times. I would never be around y'all. I couldn't be around y'all or have people on podcasts that don't push me.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. Oh, we got somebody from Soapboxx Nation. Carrie, was it Vaz? I'm saying.
Carrie Vaz.
Vaz, yeah. She says, I agree with TJ. Carrie, you are a smart individual. I'm going to go ahead and bless you on this telethon right now. You blessings, abundance in your life. Blessings. She said, look, everybody can't stay. There you go. Blessings.
Everybody can't stay.
Everybody, blessings to you, Carrie, and your household. There, I done prophesied to you. Go ahead, Jess. I know I rambled, but go ahead.
No, you're good. I completely agree with you. And I do want to go back to the part where you were like, you can't be in a successful relationship and then have people around you who are basically like, niggas ain't shit. But sometimes y'all connect. y'all connect with that similarity, but y'all want more. You guys all want more. So I don't know necessarily if that's a bad thing if you're around.
What do you mean? What you want more?
Like you want more from that. You don't want to say niggas ain't shit. You think girls want to say that? You think girls say that because they want to say that? Because they don't. We don't want to say that. We want y'all to be that person. We don't want to say niggas ain't shit. But sometimes guys have to make us say that. But we don't want that. So I think like when it comes to saying that, we just looking, or not we, because I'm good. But women are looking for like a man that's not gonna make them feel like that. And sometimes you have friends that connect on that level. So they're like, yeah, niggas ain't shit, but we want to find somebody so we don't have to say that.
I think most of the times when people like, you ever see that meme of the person who's like really crying, and then they have this mask of somebody who's smiling? I think the people who say niggas ain't shit or women ain't shit or whatever, I think that's them. Like they don't really believe that. What they're really saying is, I keep fucking up and picking the wrong people. Like because people aren't lying. That's one of the biggest things, especially in dating. People are not lying out here. People like to say, oh, I didn't know who this person was. They pulled the wool over my eyes. They screwed me over. They changed. No, they didn't. You just lied to yourself, and you put excuses in your head to make them and romanticize who they really are. No one is lying out here, especially now in this day and age with social media and everybody.
People always lie. Come on, TJ. You know, you lucky we don't have a lot of time. I should have put that on the agenda.
We got to pick. We'll definitely go back to it. But yeah. I don't think people are lying out here, especially not guys.
Javonni, you think people are lying out here?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Thank
you. She's like, oh yeah, this nigga's crazy. Don't worry about this.
Yeah, just be lying. But yeah, I agree with both of y'all was saying. I really just kind of wanted to listen because this is just a time like this year where there's a lot of self-realization that everybody should be experiencing if you've taken the time to really realize like what this COVID thing has kind of done with the world and has allowed separation from your family and your friends and time to yourself. And, you know, some friendships probably have fell off. Some have gotten closer. There has been times where people are realizing who are your real friends and what does a friend actually mean? What does it stand for? Because now we're not in the club every day. We're not partying. So at what point am I recognizing like that's your contribution to my friendship? Or even in relationships, like TJ was saying, well, I don't know if TJ was saying this, but even in relationships where a guy may not be financially fit anymore because he lost his job. And so if money was the main factor that was keeping you in a relationship, now what? Now what's keeping you, if you're not really being fed? So, I do think that you need people around you who, if you don't already know who you are, or if you don't really have that foundation to where you won't be wavered, then it is important that you're surrounded by a group of people who I guess who you really are, or where you really need to be. Because when you don't belong in a group, you'll know it, you'll feel it, you'll recognize it. And if you want to grow, you'll start to, want to change.
Yeah.
A person who may be confident in who they are, they know they can't be wavered. It is what it is. You my homie. If that's what you want to do, when I'm not around, then that's fine. And then, but just don't do it around me type of friendship. I think those friendships can exist. Or I know you struggling with your dude, but right now I'm in a good space with my dude. So don't bring the negativity into my relationship. Or if you do, let me know first, like, hey friend, you having a good day? Because I just kind of want to talk to you about something. But don't just, as soon as you get on the phone, girl, these niggas ain't, it's just like, hold up, because I was having a good day. Because that stuff can rub off on you and it can become a part of your relationship. Just like how sometimes if a person always has anxiety or they're dealing with depression and they are a really close friend to you or a relative to you, you can pick that up too. Now all of a sudden you're mopey, you're depressed, you're thinking everything wrong with your life because you're trying to normalize what other people are going through because they're close to you. So I think it's very important about who you have connection with. Soul ties are real. Yeah, that's it for me.
Dropping gems. I love it. So unfortunately, we don't have time to get to all the stories that I wanted to get to today, which is okay. You know, we got next time because I'm definitely gonna be hosting again, right, TJ? Yes.
Yes. Hopefully, I can get promoted and do it. And I think Alan's got to do his. But yeah, we definitely can.
This was good.
Some more of these. I think we will rotate. I definitely want to see Javonni do it again. Definitely see you do it again. So, yeah, sure. Why not? I think this is something we could probably do on a regular now. I mean, we're veterans.
But I do want to finish on a happier, lighter note.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna do the hit or miss. I wanted to show you guys a video about a mom, but you know, we'll leave that for next time.
No, let's do it.
Do it.
But I want to do the hit or miss. I need everybody to see these ugly ass shoes.
Okay. Oh yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
So guys, really quick. So today on my segment, we have something called hit or miss. So I'm going to show you guys a product that is the rave, and I want y'all to tell me if it's hit or miss. And these are, if you guys have heard the popular sneakers called Balenciagas, Cardi B rapped about it, a whole bunch of rappers that always rapping about it. But now they came up with some new ones that's like $1,200. And TJ, can you just show them this freaking scuba dive shoes?
Wait, this shoe is $1,200?
Bro, yes. It looks like a trampoline. I don't know, like a trampoline. Like it looks like you're gonna go jump, you're gonna go swim. It looks like you can do multiple things with that. I don't know why it's worth.
Wait, that little thing is part of the shoe. I thought that was like a display.
No.
That's the shoe.
Yes, so it has the heel, and then look at the toes. And I wish you had a front view of that because the toes, like literally, like when you put them on, yes, it looks crazy. Like
I mean, they finger shoes, right? Finger shoes.
Yes, exactly.
Look, all I know is my big toe ain't gonna fit in that. My big toe is not gonna fit in there.
Is that a hit or miss?
That's a miss for me. That's the do anything for clout shoe.
Hey, for real.
That's nah. I need support with these hooves. Nah, I can't do that. My big toe will be nah, I can't do that. That little thing would snap off if I put my foot in that. That little that little heel thing. Nah.
Not cute at all. We got Carrie in the comments saying it's a miss. Yes, girl. It is a miss.
Maybe for the runway.
But keep it there. Keep it there.
Yeah, but keep it there. Everything don't have to come off the runway.
No,
I don't think people understand that.
And you know what's so funny is that, like, if these rappers start really wearing these ugly ass shoes, there's people like normal people like us who are gonna want to wear it because they are wearing it, even though they're wearing it. Because the cloud, just like the Birkin cloud.
The Birkin cloud.
Yeah, they get so hyped. Like,
they're cloud dangerous.
Show them ugly ass things again, please, TJ, because them shit is ugly. Around me wearing them because I will rash your whole life. Like, do not do it to yourself. I'm sorry. Those are ugly.
I did.
Is that a sock? The sock is attached to it. It's like
I saw somebody with them on already. I can't remember who it was, but
yeah, I've seen some people on the blogs with it. But no, yeah, TJ, that's like the whole style with like Balenciagas too. That it's like a sock look.
Nah, and my foot too big.
They do.
It's like you can wiggle your toes like this.
Yeah, my foot too big and too wide for that. I can't.
Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know, child. I don't know. Maybe there's something behind it, like it gives you. It helps you if you have calluses. I don't know.
Yeah, and for those who are watching, those who are listening to us on Spotify or Stitcher or any of the social media streaming platforms, we'll put the shoe on our Instagram, Soapboxx Podcast. We'll put it in our Instagram story so y'all can see what what's up with the shoe.
Yes. All right, guys. So this was a dope ass show. TJ, do we have time to show that last clip? You know, just to have people laughing or whatever.
Yeah, with the shoe.
Yes.
Hell
So speaking of shoes, because you know it goes with the whole shoes. So I mean, y'all can tell us if this one is a hit or miss too. TJ, play that clip. Play it.
No me va a matar la pobreza. Nike.
Mom.
Nike.
Are you serious right now?
Yes. No me va a matar la pobreza. No me va
Mom.
a matar la pobreza. No me va a matar la pobreza. No me va a matar la pobreza. Ven, no nos va a matar la pobreza, mira. Ya tienes Nike. Póntelos, hijo.
You put that on my shoes.
She kind of did a good job.
Who? Susie?
Oh,
Shout out to Little Man making his mom feel special. Like, look, I'm a rocker. He put his thumbs up. That was funny. I needed that when I saw it. I was like, what? But listen, if you ever grew up struggling and you grew up on Apple Zaps and all the off-brand stuff, like, you know, the struggle is real. That's funny. But I was surprised. She actually did a good job with the market though.
she did. I can't even do that.
That was funny.
That was. But yeah, oh my gosh, this was such a good show, guys. I had so much fun with you guys. Now, you know what we like to do before we end the show. We like to end with the moral of the story. So I'm going to start with my girl from Tallahassee. Javonni, what's your moral of the story?
All right, y'all. This was a great show. Shout out to Jess. Shout out to TJ for allowing us to be able to express ourselves and be the host of the Soapboxx podcast. My moral of the story today is to check in on your friends because mental health is a real thing, and also to not be bullied by your friends who take advantage of you. That's a long topic. I'm gonna just stop it there.
That's what I'm talking about, girl. I like that. And TJ, how about you? Let me hear what's your moral of the story.
Hey, real quick. Hey, my moral of the story is make sure that you are focusing on your self-care. The other day, and make sure that you're okay with being with yourself and your self-care. So, the other day I went, got a pedicure, got a haircut, just chilled and enjoyed enjoy yourself and take care of your health, take care of your stuff. So yeah, that's what I gotta say is make sure you're focusing on your self-care. And it's okay to be, that's the moral of the story. It's okay to be selfish.
That's right. I like that. I like that. Focus on you. A lot of times we always focus on other people. Focus on you.
Like Roscoe Jenkins says, he said, believe in yourself. Okay.
That's right.
Focus on you. Go ahead.
You know what? That's going to be my moral of the story. Believe in yourself. Look at me. I was actually very nervous to be the host, even though I do social media stuff all the time. Like, something different for me. So don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. It's okay. Like, if you fail, you're going to just learn from it. Like, what's the worst that can happen except you're going to learn. So don't be afraid to fail and just believe in yourself and elevate. You got to always elevate. So yeah. So I'm going to get a TJ. So from myself,
such a troll. Go ahead.
Thank you for watching the Soapboxx Podcast. Peace.